Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano, and I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is running, nutrition, diet. And, I've been devouring, as most of you know, I am a runner. I love to run. Sometimes I'm a more serious runner over the years than I have been, and right now I'm in one of my more serious states of running. And the question is, do you eat to run, or do you run so you can eat? Now, Chrissy Wellington put this perfect. I'm just in the process of reading her book. She's a world-class triathlete. I've been devouring a lot of running books lately. I want to see different techniques. I've been getting really serious about running. So I've been really trying to see lots of people's different angles and techniques, and especially dietary advice. Like Scott Jurek, I really enjoyed his book, Eat and Run. Rich Roll, Finding Ultra was another great book. I did 50-50 from Dean Karnassus. I've done several others. I've read Brendan Brazier's book Thrive a while back, and I just happened to meet Brendan Brazier this summer, which is great. So Chrissy Wellington goes, she went from a point where she was running so she could eat crappy foods to a point where she was eating good food so she could run. Okay? Now, a lot of people think, that, runners aren't healthy, and, and running's, not a healthy sport to begin with, and a lot of those runners are not out there are not healthy to begin with, or they're just not healthy people, these runners. And that's very true, because a lot of people actually run so they can eat crappy foods, okay? When it should be just the opposite. If you're gonna run, you need to fuel your body with foods that you can run better on, that you can perform better on. And now, of course, I'm not talking about becoming a professional athlete or becoming a very serious runner, but running can have implications. Running can be a very high stress sport, especially if you're doing it wrong, especially if you're running wrong. If you want to become a serious runner, not even a serious runner, if you just want to become a better runner, or even if you're going to go run, let me take all that back. If you want to just go run, I recommend you read Eric Orton's book, The Cool Impossible, and get on his website. I think it's Training with Eric or something. Just look up Eric Orton, O-R-T-O-N, and learn proper form. Because if you're not doing proper form, every step you take is breaking your body down. And how many times people said, oh, runners get bad knees, bad hips, and aches and pains? Because if you're doing it wrong, it's going to break your body down. Your body's designed to run. You're born to run. You're built to run. We have characteristics that are very unique, just to humans alone, like an Achilles tendon and a balance point behind the back of our neck that help us keep upright and run. And our Achilles, the tendons, are shock absorbers. So our bodies are designed. We evolved as runners. So every one of us can run, but as soon as you start running wrong, you break your body down. And you get lessons for everything: skiing, golfing, you name it. You get lessons for things: baseball, pitching, bat, hitting. So we never get a lesson for running, and that's so important that we start off right. So, Eric Orton, The Cool Impossible, great read for people that are long-time runners, that have been running years, and people that are just starting to run. Anybody can read that book and pick up some valuable advice. Get on his YouTube channel, get on his website. So, running can tear your body down, and it can cause inflammation, okay? And it's oxidative stress by just going out and doing that to your body. It's also very therapeutic and very good for you, okay? So don't think that running's bad. Running's extremely good for you. But if you're eating bad food and you're running, you're really not doing anything that's great. You're just burning calories. So at that point, it's calories in, calories out. And sure, you might lose weight. Great possibility you're going to lose weight, because now it's a matter of just subtracting calories off of your daily caloric intake, and that will lead to weight reduction. But you're not doing it properly to really fight off that oxidative stress and load your body with antioxidants. So you must eat to run, even if you're not a serious runner. Putting the right foods in your body will help your body recover. Help your body, that whole process of being able to be fit, be strong, be healthy, and your immune system, so that all that's connected. So you must eat to run. I'm not saying don't, a lot of you out there are going to be like, well, I'm going to enjoy my good food and this and that and this and that, which is fine, because you have the right to eat whatever you want. But however, you just have to know that if you're eating bad food and you're running, there's two things that are causing oxidative stress in your body. There's two things that are working against your body. If you're truly concerned about being healthy, a lot of people say, well, I want to run to be healthy, but so that I can eat the foods that I want to eat. I know a ton of runners that just be like, oh my gosh, I know, you know, I'm just running so I can just eat and keep the weight off over the years, and it's been a great tool for me over the years to keep the weight off so I can keep my diet, you know, to eat whatever I want. Now, however, I do know a lot of friends who really eat to run. You know, they're like, okay, this is the fuel that my body feels the best on. This is the fuel that I can run best on. This is the fuel that is great for runners. Now, if you read all these books, Scott Jurek, Rich Roll, Brendan Brazier, a lot of these top athletes are on plant-based diets. Some of them do meat, but a good majority of them, more and more I should say, are on a plant-based diet. Really, if you're interested in the ins and outs of a plant-based diet, I would recommend getting Thrive from Brendan Brazier. That's a really good book. He's a world-class triathlete, and he has a whole line of products now, Vega, nutritional products. And he has a recipe book, Thrive, and he's teamed up with Matthew Kenny. Matthew Kenny is really an incredible raw food vegan chef, responsible for many great operations, was the original founder of Pure Food and Wine in New York City. He has this thing going on in Santa Monica, he has a thing in Oklahoma City, now he has a thing in Maine. So he's really evolved his career. He was a chef just like myself that was cooking all kinds of foods in the beginning and realized that, hey, we need a more sustainable cuisine for, you know, for the vitality of our environment. And he's really, I don't want to say overboard, he's just really got into it and really gone off and made all these vegetarian restaurants and has an institute where you can go learn now hands-on raw food, the Matthew Kenny cuisine. So really check him out. Him and Brendan Brazier have teamed up and they're doing things together. So Brendan Brazier's new cookbook, I hear, is incredible. I haven't had a copy of it yet. I don't even think it's available yet. But I hear that it's incredible. So that's a story. Do you eat to run, or do you run so you can eat? So that's the bottom line. You know, the whole famous runner Jim Fixx back in the 70s claimed that he could eat anything and run. And some opponents, and even Gary Null was very outspoken about it. Gary Null goes, no, that's not true, Jim. You can't do that. You can't eat McDonald's and go run a marathon. That doesn't work like that. You're defeating the purpose. And Jim Fixx swore that he could do it. And at 48 years old, found dead from a heart attack on the side of the road, running. So once Jim Fixx had that heart attack way back then, a lot of people have said, well, yeah, running's not good for you. See, Jim Fixx died. You know, that's not good for you. Running and eating McDonald's, running and eating crap is not good for you. That's absolutely right. So people didn't get the whole picture there. Running and eating crappy is not good for you. Eating good food and running is extremely healthy. Now, Gary Null's formula, I always mention Gary Null because I've really learned a lot from him over the years, N-U-L-L, Gary Null. His magic formula that he's seen people improve the most upon and increase years onto their lives and get rid of all their heart disease, diabetes, high cholesterol. His formula is 5 days, 6 miles a day. That's what he tries to get his clients on. That's what he advises. That's what he wants to get people on, is 30 miles a week. So you run 5 days, 6 days. He said 6 miles a day, 5 days a week. He goes, that is the most beneficial plan for runners. And that's what I said a couple years ago. I said, man, this is what I want to start at. So as a runner, I said, let me do that. And I hadn't been running 30 miles. I'd only been running maybe 15 miles a week, 10 miles a week. Some weeks I would get up to 30. That was a really good week for me years ago, was a 30-mile week. So I just changed my whole mindset and said, you know what, I do want to improve myself. And my diet wasn't great at the time. It was plant-based, but I was eating a lot of high-fat foods, sometimes a lot of processed vegetarian foods, vegan foods, which aren't all that good for you. So I said, that really makes sense. And once I started, the more I started running, the more I wanted to eat better. It was just like a chain reaction. Okay, I feel good after running. Now let me put some nutritious foods into my body. There's no way I'd like make a milkshake or go to McDonald's. Even I didn't go to McDonald's. I haven't been to McDonald's in years, 15 years. There's no way that I could think of putting crappy food in my body after I was doing all that good running. So it's like a chain reaction, and that's sort of what Eric Orton says. He goes, don't worry about your diet. Don't worry about doing yoga. Don't worry about. He goes, once you start running and going right, your whole body, your whole process is going to change, and you're going to gravitate towards the good foods. You're going to gravitate towards the good practices. Everything's going to ease. All the bad stuff is going to ease out of your life, and that's what happened to me. It just like eased out of my life. I barely drink alcohol, and I own a restaurant with 250 craft beers, and I'll just taste it because I like the taste of it, but I don't want to drink to get drunk, and I don't want to, you know, drink to get overboard. So it's just like, okay, I can taste a little bit and put it aside, and that's it, because it is a really good, well-made beer, and I can appreciate what the brewmaster's doing. I can appreciate what the winemaker's doing with the wine. I can appreciate that, but it's not, you know, for me anymore. Just let me pound a couple beers back. It's nothing like that. So that stuff has eased its way out of my regime because of what I'm doing with my body, and I'm running. I feel so great that I want to keep that momentum up, and I know how I feel on good food. So, do you eat to run, or do you run so you can eat? I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Thanks for watching this video. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, and definitely pass them on.